ERA Global is the place, is the destination. If you're looking to distribute your product, if you're trying to find a way to scale and get global impact and get global reach for your product, you have to be here. This event can change your life. So don't miss it. Make sure you come here. And guys, come to the show. Don't miss it. This is the place to be. All right, guys, welcome back to ERA Global. We're here in Las Vegas at the Global Launch Summit, helping brands and products get their markets out to a global audience. In this one location, there's over 40 countries that you can distribute your product to with the right connection, the right pieces. And one of the big challenges for many of them is how do you deal with marketplace distribution? Brian Bray has joined us from Synergy ReCommerce. Brian's company has got a great background in understanding how to manage price controls and to overall manage distribution through multiple marketplaces. Sure.
Yep, absolutely.
And not globally yet.
Not yet. That is why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because I'm trying to get to know, get some contacts with people and expand globally.
All right, Reynolds. So tell me about Synergy and what you guys do.
So Synergy ReCommerce is located in Memphis, Tennessee. We started back in 1995 as warehouse logistics. We're heavily involved in reverse logistics.
Reverse logistics?
Reverse logistics. Yeah, so helping companies bring back their products from the retailers and then converting them back into sellable products.
Okay.
So I started back in 1995. It's a real evolution. Back then there was returns, and about, let's say 75% of those returns were unable to bring back to sellable condition, 25% were. Now, since the ease of Amazon and Walmart and Target with the ease of returns, we found that it's about switched. It's about 75% of products can be brought back to sellable condition. So it gives us a good opportunity to work with companies and say, hey, listen, send your returns back to us. We'll run them down our production line, sell them online, and then we do a revenue share with the customer. So there's no upfront costs to them, but it's ability to recoup your costs.
So you're really monetizing what would be a breakage problem. I mean, typically, I know a lot of companies out there, when items come back, they're like, well, destroy it, get rid of it.
Sure.
We don't need it.
Sure.
But in your situation, you're actually taking what would be breakage,
right,
and turning it back into cash.
Exactly. I mean, even if you think of it like from a larger scale, if you say that e-commerce has about a 10% return rate.
Okay.
So think for every 1,000 you're selling, 100 you're selling, you're getting back 10%. And so if I said to you, hey, listen, you're selling 100,000 widgets a year, we're going to take those back. You got that's 10% of that. And then how about if you take that even a step further and say that 75% of those we can get back into resellable condition? That's a massive amount of dollars that's recoverable.
That's big, and for most companies, and I know a lot of the global guys here, the way they think about it is they take that 10% and they're
Sure.
writing that off.
Yeah.
They're building that into the price on the front. So any recapture is really like
found money.
Bonus.
Yeah,
right?
it really is bonus. And the other thing too, like we all like to say to companies, is not only that, but there used to be the term destroy in field, which sounded like they destroyed the products, right? And we talked about this before, that's just not the case anymore. So you have a lot of these manufacturers, or a lot of these retailers, whether it's Home Depot, QVC, HSN, all of the different retailers, will take those return products, put them on pallets, and then liquidate them.
Okay.
The issue that you run into now is that Walmart and Amazon are open marketplaces. So if you were to buy a couple pallets or a truckload of returns, you can be doing those in your living room and putting those back on Amazon that afternoon and selling them as brand new. And then what does that do to the price point of the brand new products?
Right.
So it really when you start from the returns, but then it also evolves into the price protection.
You know that arbitrage of resellers that starts to pop up there, they can really be a huge problem in the marketplace side of it, right? And if you're not controlling price points, then what you end up with is a devaluing of your product.
Correct.
Because if that 10% hits the market,
right,
and suddenly, a guy in Boise has bought a truckload of this, and he's now dumbed the price down on a $99 item to $25, right, and he's burning through it. Until he's burned through that,
Yeah.
He's getting the buy box, he's getting the sell position in all your marketplaces, and in essence, scraping your sales on your own product.
Exactly. And then heaven forbid those people then return the product to you. So now it's a double whammy.
So you're getting, not only you have the challenge of controlling your inventory flow and protecting your value. And some of these guys here, they're doing like, 1 million units or 2 million units. That could be at a 10%.
Yeah,
that
a
could be
massive dollar amount.
It could be 100,000 units sitting on the street that's now devaluing against your.
Correct.
Brian, it's kind of eye-opening when you think about it, because a lot of people don't think about that little intricacy, right?
Yep.
And that little intricacy could be the thing. That could be the thing.
Correct.
That makes your campaign successful, that makes your brand successful, that makes your company successful. Those little turns and those little knobs, that's what this show's about.
Exactly. And the thing too is if you continue on with that thought process. So another strategy that Synergy over the years handling 3PL in reverse is very reactionary, right? So if we've got the Andy blender, and
it's a hell of a blender.
It's a hell of a blender, by the way.
It's amazing. It only makes margaritas.
That's right. So let's say you have that product. The issue is so not only are we helping you protect that product in the market, but doing 3PL and reverse logistics is very reactionary, right? So if I provide this service for you, Andy, I just have to wait for you to do a good job selling your product online, all right? And so if I'm just handling your returns and just 3PL, that's reactionary. So about a year or two before COVID hit, we said, how do we get above that, right?
Yep.
And so what we said is, okay, well, we do a good job selling online. Yep. We're on all the major channels, Amazon, Walmart, Target, all the Nordstrom's, Macy's, everything you can think of.
Like 25 different
marketplaces, right? We don't sell to those marketplaces. We sell on those marketplaces, and I'll certainly explain why that's important as well. So the issue is that, like I said, it's reactionary. So a couple of years before COVID, we started saying, hey, we need to invest in our own brands. We need to start sourcing our own product and having a good presence of brand new products. So now our Synergy is really kind of a three-legged stool. We've got the 3PL, we've got the reverse logistics, and then now we are really growing with the forward logistics.
I got you.
So if you came to me and said, hey, I've got the Andy blender, the best blender on the market, we can fill in from a logistics standpoint, selling into direct to consumer, directly into stores. That's great. We can handle your returns, which also allows you to recover some of your money. But then also you've got all those returns at our facility. So what happens when you have product warranty? So you need a jar for the blender. Miss Jones needs a lid. Instead of sending her brand new product, we can go pull those from the returns and send them out. The next phase.
You're solving a lot of the headaches.
A lot of problems, yeah.
A lot of the headaches.
We want to make sure that it's all in the same flywheel. It's all vertical. So then you come to me and say, we're doing a great job on Amazon. You're managing your own Amazon channel, let's say. And we say, well, are you on Target? Or are you on Walmart? Or are you on all the different channels? We can help supplement the Andy blender on those 25 different channels. And so we take a small Synergy, we call it the Synergy selling fee, right? Yeah. But we're your back end. So now you get to a stage where the Andy blender, you can kind of not go hands off, but we have these weekly Zoom meetings where we're your sales department, we're your warehousing, your parts fulfillment, your 1-800 call center, your email support, and everything. So whenever we talk to a company, we can find a little niche, the way we price everything a la carte, to get in the door to help you grow your sales.
I think the solution that you're providing, everybody's a lot. I mean, that's problem solution. That's the name of the business, right? Problem solution. I think what you're solving for a lot of folks is a lot of folks we find have great products but can't get into that point where setting all of that up can be a nightmare, right? And it can absorb all of your time.
Yep.
So by bringing in the right partner, you can solve some of those issues and solve some of that realm. But it's not just that. You also do a lot of marketing on the digital front.
We do, yeah. So we do certainly help manage the ad spends and the digital marketing, the social media. We're working with a lot of great companies such as Bluewater to help with those types of aspects as well, which we're very excited about, and certainly that's how our relationship has started. So we're very pleased with that. But it's how do you get everywhere with the right amount of all the triggers and all the levers to be pulled?
So relevant to today's conversation, and this could change tomorrow at the stroke of a pen.
It might.
But how have tariffs affected the inbound of product into the U.S.? And do you have any of your partners diverting product into other countries to keep their business moving?
Yes, so that's certainly one of our big reasons for coming to the show too, is really to understand really the global market. How do we continue to expand? Because we have our own brands, so not only do we provide the service for companies, but we have our own brands. And how do we get global? And so certainly the tariffs have affected. There was certainly that window of time where containers stopped coming into the U.S. and everyone was panicked and waiting to see what was going to happen. Certainly a stressful time. What we found was online, as you know, you never want to run out of product, right? It's better to continue to raise that price than to let it go, out of stock. And so what we found was, we said, listen, if we're going to have our products subject to these tariffs, let's just raise the price as if we've already paid the tariffs, and let's see what happens.
Get ahead of the burn.
Get ahead of it, right? So it's like maybe we can make a little bit more extra margin on the product we originally brought in without the tariffs, to help us absorb. And we found a really interesting thing. I think the American public is also concerned and scratching their heads and anxious about it as well. We found that our sales did dip a little bit with the product increase, but not as much. And so we've actually been pretty pleased, and we've continued to market through and to continue to run ad spend and continue to work with companies such as Bluewater to say, hey, listen, how do we keep ourselves out there? And the American consumer is willing to pay a little bit more during this window. I don't know how long that'll last, but during this window.
It's kind of like the COVID scarcity window, right?
Yeah, right.
And scarcity creates, scarcity of product creates, the demand isn't less necessarily for the certain product. It's still crossing your mind. You still want to do certain things. You still want to, if it's a kitchen product, you still want to cook. You still want to be in that environment, right?
Sure.
However, if you suddenly have product scarcity, then price naturally would increase in volume. So you could be creating urgency around it at the same time.
Correct. Yeah.
Look, in kind of a bigger picture piece of it, that when we're here at GLS or the Global Launch Summit, I think the key here is that, and I want your take on it and get your feeling for
Absolutely.
it. But the number of people in this room and these spaces that are walking these halls and the access to the players. Talk a little bit about that capability here.
Well, I tell you, I'll be honest. So this is, as you know, this is my first year here. And what I have found coming here is that there's a mix of new members, but it seems like the people that are here have these long-standing relationships. We go to all the CES, we go to Houseware Show. It's a lot. Right, you go to a lot of these conferences, especially the Houseware Show, where you're talking to someone and they're doing a little bit of this, they're looking over their shoulder, they've got an appointment in 10 minutes, they got to rush and all that kind of stuff. What I have found about this and the structure and the layout, even so to like the way the room is set up and the social events, it really caters to people just being able to communicate and talk. And so I've found this is probably one of the most friendly, like open posture type conferences that I've ever been into, and I'm 52, so I've been kicking around for a couple of years.
You've been to a few.
I've been to a few, but I really enjoy this, and certainly looking forward to participating more, and especially coming back next year for sure, and to different locations.
So listen, thanks for coming.
Absolutely, yeah.
From the Global Launch.
Sure.
Some of you guys out there. Realize this is the place. If you want access to players on the global market, if you want access to the ability to get in all these countries, you have to be at the Global Launch Summit. You have to come. You have to check out ERA Global. The next conference is actually in Mallorca, Spain, which is in June. So there's also some excuses to travel to some really cool places. Just saying.
Yeah, I might sign up for that one.
Just saying. A little trip to Mallorca on the company bill. Sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a good expense.
Yeah. And if you and like a lot of people have said, look, if you leave here, if you come here, we want you to leave with a deal. We want you to leave with the capability of making money. That's what it's about. It's a conference driven around communication, trade, and getting to know the right people. Access is everything. If you don't meet the right people, you can never win. get down here, get to the GLS, the Global Launch Summit from ERA Global.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.